All right, welcome back. And remember, you can join the conversation on 99.3 Nigeria Info. This is also being streamed live on Facebook and YouTube. Uncle Jimmy, when it rains, it pours.
Yeah, you just bust my bubble. And a friend just sent the news to me now through WhatsApp. It wasn't in the papers when I checked this morning. And what we're talking about is that apparently, from what we can see here, the price of fuel has gone up to 212 per liter. Because I don't have, it's catching me unawares here now. One has to be very careful, about the things one says about this. But the least we can say is that it's even on the PPRA website that fuel is now going to sell for 212. Nigerians, things are not looking good. Things are not looking good. And it was inevitable for a government that claims that it doesn't want to subsidize the cost of fuel. It was inevitable that this was happening because the exchange rate was hitting the roof. And sad that an oil-producing country like Nigeria finds itself in this extremely embarrassing moment. I'm not going to be buying any rhetoric from any government official that talks about cushioning any effect. That has always been a bobo, to use Femi Kuti's whatever. I was telling, I think it cost me just close to about 5 naira to fill the tank of a Beetle that I had in 1981, if I remember very well. And look at where we find ourselves now. From that time till now, throughout my journalism career, I'm a pensioner, whether I like it or not, at 66, I'm a pensioner. All my life, we've been talking about templates for how much it's going to cost fuel. What we expected the Buhari government to do was to sell these refineries if the government cannot maintain them, so that at least we can keep a lead on how much we sell petrol to ourselves internally. It's like somebody who has a restaurant.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, you have a Mama Tunjo mother who has a restaurant and keeps telling the husband that you have to bring more money to feed the house when she can take from the, there's some advantage in that. We haven't done that, and that's why we found ourselves where we are. It serves us right. It serves us right. This is what people will say in Toyin. And I'm also guilty. I am also guilty, so I'm not absolving myself. So I feel pain within myself that, Shoton, you keep thinking with every new government coming that there will be a change. Okay, when some of us put our whatever on the line and said that, look, Buhari will make a change and so on and so forth, you have seen the change that has now taken place. Only God will help this country. Only God. Because in Buhari's tenure now, this is the 6th year, the refineries are still not working at any optimum, if they are working at all. And so everybody is now waiting patiently for when Dangote, will start his refinery. But remember that Dangote, when he starts selling whatever from his refinery, he has loans to pay in hard currency.
And he will sell at the international price.
He will still sell at the international price, even though it is said that he would buy the crude at 9. It's just a colossal mess. I would have thought that any president on taking office would look for a well-structured, maybe any of the oil companies, maybe whatever, and hand over the refinery to them, so that at least you can have some succor for your people.
And there's no guarantee that this will be the last increase.
How can it be? It will not be. There's no guarantee. It will and cannot be. For as long as you're importing fuel, for as long as you have the kind of racketeering that you have and nobody has been able to place a lid on, this is what you are going to get. So let the supporters, let them go on a rampage, abuse everybody in sight for stating the obvious. And let's see where that will get us. And it serves all of us right, including me. And the lesson to learn from this is that in 2023, and I maintain that, I don't think I will be inclined to support. I have to support somebody. It's my country. I have to cast my vote. But I don't think I'll be inclined to support anymore. Any fuddy-duddy. I'm not going to be supporting any of the old school. I'm going to be looking at supporting somebody who is well exposed. Look at the COVID. See how Biden is leading his country, how the other gentleman, Boris Johnson, is leading his country. What kind of leadership do we have in Nigeria? In response to this, now go to Twitter within an hour. All you get is abuses and abuses. I don't listen to him anymore, as if I'm the issue. They've really gotten me worked up. I'm seriously worked up this morning. To even answer, to engage you. The other day, somebody came here and said, so this Twitter, he called them, there's a word he used, I've forgotten, I'll use it at 9. You understand what I'm saying? The government itself will have no response to this. We shall be importing 200 mulwes to run. All the rhetoric is what you will get.
Very true.
Either that or they start pointing to some infrastructure rail that was built somewhere. Let us take these things issue by issue. It doesn't make you feel good to be critical of government. It doesn't. Because I've been doing this particular program now for close to 7 to 8 years. In the days of Fashola, it was a joy to come and explain to people what the government is doing. He made some errors, yes, but nobody is interested in government bashing. What does it do to me?
Absolutely.
But this kind of thing walks you up.
It does indeed. It does.
Walks you up. It first of all walks you up, then it begins to move you to tears. That when are we going to get out of this second slavery? We are worse off than when we were colonized by the British. The British showed more care to the in spite of what you might accuse them of, they showed more care to Nigerians than Nigerians are showing to Nigerians. So let's go, Jerry.
All
let's
right.
do.
All right. Okay. Before the increase in petrol story came in, the other big story we were looking at was the vaccination. Lagos is set to begin its vaccination tomorrow. Meanwhile, you have the vaccination, the stories about the AstraZeneca, which a number of countries in Europe have suspended the rollout.
Thank
because
you.
of a particular
Let me do this very quickly.
batch.
It's very important.
Yeah.
Now we find ourselves between the devil and the deep blue sea. And when they say a wolf, they get bone. Okay? See what has happened now. Instead of us to have been more proactive and gone for what I would consider the best, now the free AstraZeneca COVID vaccine that we want to administer in Nigeria, 8 countries have suspended the rollout. Why? Because they suspect that it might be causing blood clots. Blood clots are death sentences. In most cases, if not detected early, they are death sentences. And they could occur to you at any time. But the FG says that the rollout will continue. Why? Because it's a matter of pride. What I would advise the government is don't run Russian roulette with your citizens. If all 8 countries have suspended, then tarry a while. Okay, just tarry a while and make sure that there are no fears that you are not endangering the lives of your citizens in trying to repair your own image. But Baba don't get it on now. You see where we are now.
But I listened to the health authorities yesterday. They said that the particular batch number of the one they say in Europe has the problem. They don't have it with the Nigerian one.
When you have a problem in the airline industry, and my friend Captain Horace, I'm sure he's listening, what you do is you suspend all flights till you have a clearer picture. I did not say stop it. I said tarry a while. Wait and be sure before you administer this to your citizens. There's nothing wrong with that. But I am hoping that the government would quickly license other vaccines.
Yes.
So it becomes, I suspect that this might jolly well be like what happens in the administration of malaria tablets, where some will have an itch and some will not. You know, if the reaction was that maybe you would have an itch or that it will knock your engine if you're a man, I wouldn't have these fears. But when it comes to blood clots, it's almost like a death sentence.
Talking about the rollout, Uncle Jimmy, about the
I thought you were thinking about I thought you were thinking about the doctor.
I was listening to Professor Adeyeye yesterday, NAFDAC DG, and she said that Johnson & Johnson will come out second and third quarter of this year. And they had some local medication, but hadn't gone through clinical trial yet.
Yes.
And then I think finally she said this thing about the that there's no medicine that doesn't have side effect. Her argument is that every medicine that has more gain than loss is what you eventually get.
But let us know what the side effect is. If I want to take any medication, I always read the literature that goes along with it. Do you understand what I'm saying? What I'm saying is, if it has gotten to a point where 8 countries have suspended the rollout, I did not say put the vaccines and throw them in the marina, because unfortunately, everybody don't take at the top. But what I'm saying is that tarry a while, just let's be a bit patient and get a clear picture of what we are talking about. That's all. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. But they say that Professor Tomori says that there's no cause for alarm as the country had nothing to fear about the usage of the AstraZeneca. And it says here that look at this story here. It says the federal government is investigating the side effects. Wait now, investigate. Blood clots are serious things.
Indeed.
Very serious matter.
Indeed.
It's something you don't want to confront at all. So we're just saying that, look, as a precautionary measure, can you please just tarry a while? Let's get a clear picture and then we move on. After all, it was free. We didn't pay for it.
Yes. Let's move to politics.
But I don't go get now. You see, this is already this.
You need to investigate. This ruffle and any ruffle between Amechi and Wike
is disgraceful. It's disgraceful, and I'll take it one by one.
Okay.
Now, Wike has accused Amechi of a few things. Where are the details? What has he done? What is the process? If you have a case, take it to the EFCC. If you think that they're pussyfooting because Amechi is using his influence as a minister, you can file a private case against him. Okay? You can do that. You don't do that, you now go to, because 2 of you are fighting, you now go to the media and start all this for fight. Now, on the part of Amechi, yesterday was on Arise TV, and then he was told that Wike had accused him that the federal government was protecting him from prosecution that he diverted funds from the state. So what does Amechi say? Amechi says, I don't think I want to address the issue of the governor. I have made my point and I have moved on. He should have made that point again. Then he goes on to say something that I so hate about, our elites. He was my staff. I can't bring myself low. Excuse me, who are you? I don't know why we get so worked up over what the force you have is temporary. It is not you.
Right.
You have been accused. You put up a defense. If it was your staff yesterday, it's not your staff today. Today he's go. And look, let's be honest with ourselves. Here is a minister who, having this kind of attitude. His jurisdiction had only one airport, but he bought a private plane for his state. Is that the right thing to do? Is that the right thing to do? At the time it was being cleared by the National Assembly, why didn't somebody bring it up? Well, because it's a conspiracy between all of them. And he says, I don't think I want to. I've made my point. He was my staff. I can't bring myself low. You brought yourself low by what you have just said. And people need to learn how to speak in public and have the right attitude. And this boastful and what it's not good either for them or for the country or for the environment. We are setting a bad example for our children. We must learn to be humble. The fact that you have a top public office, for God's sake, well, given the Nigerian attitude, is a big deal because you go and do Thanksgiving, you go and do this and that, then relatives, so we can understand that. But we want our leaders to have this mentality that I have come here to serve in humility.
Absolutely.
In humility. And he says, he was my staff. I can't bring myself low. I was a governor. I was also a speaker. I'm a minister. I was a 2-term chairman of the Governors Forum. I'm very disappointed in Mr. Amechi, even though I must admit that he runs his function very well. But in terms of his public mien to the public, it's arrogant. And I think that we've had enough of arrogance from our public officials. It's just arrogant. You say, I can't bring myself low. Okay, so because I was a speaker, I'm a minister. I was a 2-term chairman. Oh, God Almighty. but between the two of them, I think some elders of the state should move in and let's have an adult discussion on this. It's just like what is happening between Uzodinma and
Okorocha.
Uzodinma, if you have a case against him, get your attorney general to prepare the case and then move in. And I'm surprised that it was said that the vice president played host to the two of them. He shouldn't have. He shouldn't have. He should have told them, go and do, you governor, go and do the needful. You ex-governor, go and find a way to defend yourself.
Yes.
Why do we keep having all these conspiracy theories around and this kind of arrogance? You see, this is the attitude towards governance. Let me repeat it again. He said, it was my staff. I can't bring myself low. I was a governor. I was also a speaker, and I'm a minister. I was a 2-time chairman of the Governors Forum. You see, part of the problem in our society today is that at the end of the day, you're only recognized either if you are in position or you have money. People that have made meaningful contributions to our society are completely neglected. This is what you get. You can see from the attitude. And there's a rumor making the rounds that he might be thinking of running for president.
Very true.
This is a big minus for him. He better just correct this. As a top government official, you must be humble. And you must be clear-minded. You must be clear-minded. All this arrogance about this, because what was it Zeke said about Zeke? There was one quotation, he said something about something to say, I'm getting old. I keep forgetting things now. More so when you're infuriated, you walk into a studio and you're faced with the price hike. And I never fill my tank.
We'll try and make do with what we have here. This was a big story of Jimi yesterday. Federal government rules out talks with bandits, opts for crackdown.
Well, the one thing I like about this is that they're very clear-minded as to what they will not do. I hope the rhetoric will be followed by action. There's nothing wrong with it. If you want to go along that path. So the question is that if you now rule out talks with the bandits, do you have the capacity for crackdown? That is a question only security experts or time. Security experts might, if they do a thorough analysis, okay, of course you know who I'm thinking of. It's the only one out of most of the security experts I see in public. It is that man is the only one is the only one who appears to know his onions. People don't understand that the fact that you've worked in you've worked as a whatever doesn't make you a security expert because you've been an officer. Depends on what if you are in the education corps, teaching secondary schools, but you have the rank of whatever. You understand? And also, I had a security expert once, so-called security expert, come on my program. First question I asked him: your claim to being a security expert, can I have your background? His answer: you don't need to go to the university to learn security. Okay, you didn't go to university to learn security, but what is your claim? I have observed things. While
we're observing Ekiti farmers and herders who have agreed on ranching.
This is a beautiful story, and I wish such stories make front page. Now, what has happened in Ekiti is that there's been the stakeholders meeting and the state chairman farmers association, okay, and the leader of the Mietiala cattle whatever, Elijah Damabache, have said that the establishment of ranches and registration of herders remain the viable solution to the incessant farmers elders class. Chicken like adults have gotten together. But I read one story there. So we will not surrender our whatever to ranches. Okay, don't surrender, but run the ranch. Let the government run the ranches. Don't say they go chop all the money, but let the government and charge every cow that comes in. I don't know what is it.
Straightforward business.
Or you just declare that you don't want any cows from the north, so we know where we stand. Because somebody put out some fear. If you give them land, we have fears over Nigerians. There's this fella's song called Fear Not for Man. I know every fella's song, even those he didn't record. It is Fear Not for Man. And in it, he says that Nigerians fear the slightest. If somebody pulls out one knockout outside there now, Philip will be the first out of the door. You will forget that two of us are here, and I know you will follow.
Through the window.
I know you will follow. I'm the only one who will stay back here because of... Now, that's a joke. Today is a Friday, so we can take... But I'm happy that this has happened, and I hope other states will follow.
Absolutely.
The kind of politics that goes into these things, various personal interests that goes into issues, it beclouds the whole scenario. Who is this one now? Pro-chancellor.
Yes, this is the American president who said the only thing to fear is fear itself. But Sanwo-Olu says is going after port saboteurs.
No, he didn't say he was. What he said was that he was going to reveal. That's the last I heard. Okay. And then the Punch editorial is telling him that don't just expose these people. Go after them, which is what I said. I'm going to sue the Punch for... Now, that's a joke. But this is exactly what I said. And it says that The government must therefore go beyond exposing members of the cartel profiting from the gridlock. They should arrest and prosecute them for economic sabotage. So it's not for the government to say we will expose them, we will name and shame them. You know, that's what he said. That is beyond that. Your chief executive of the state, your attorney general is there.
Yes.
Tidy up the books. Get 1 or 2 lawyers to back your attorney general from outside. The Falanas are there. GT Ogunyes, all of them, liberals, they're all there. They'll give you a watertight case against these people. You can move it, and the government knows how to make sure that people don't get bail. Do you know that? You don't know government magic.
Yes, no. They just will keep moving the
Don't charge them for attempted murder. No, you have them out of the way.
The day you're stepping out of court, they introduced another charge. We are broke. Did they ever imagine that this would happen, that the House of Reps would say that we are broke?
If I had heard this story, if I had seen it this morning when I came in at 7, this story would have followed it immediately. The House of Reps say that they are broke, but they haven't said anything about their salaries. The lawmaker, Benjamin Kalu, in an interview said, the House is broke. I have said this before and again. I'm not afraid of saying it. Of course, you shouldn't be afraid of saying whatever you like. You guys treat us with a lot of contempt. The Kalu man, we don't know how much he takes home every month. We don't know the amount of work that he does to justify the money he's taking home. You do understand what I'm saying? You don't be afraid. Come on, tell us you are broke. So what do you want? You need more money. Fine, you get it. But one day Nigerians will wake up.
Indeed. There's a tribute letter to the husband.
This is the story of High Chief Dr. Obi Lulu Briggs, who died 2 years ago and is now just being buried.
Yeah.
I don't want to go into the details of this, but I just want to use this to advise our men. We'll look at it a bit more critically maybe at 9, without going into the details, but to allow men that if you find yourself in a situation between 2 marriages, you've left one, married another one, for God's sake, you don't know the day you will die, always tidy up. Always. This is messy. It doesn't get, and I don't want to talk even ill of the dead. It's very messy. And I don't know why his wife put this 4-page pull out, but this is part of what it is. But for God's sake, man, even if you have, look, the truth is, everybody, once you get to the age of 40, you need to tighten up your backside.
Absolutely.
Okay, because you don't know when that day will come. And this example is what, if you have the time, you go get this pull out. It's an advert, actually. And it's a letter written by the current wife. The man for 2 years had not been buried. They had not allowed his spirit to. And what I hear is that until you bury somebody, the spirit doesn't go away. It will just be lingering.
Yes.
So the man must be tired, lingering, going from Bayelsa to go, Do you know what? Is there life after death? You don't see person will die before. I'm
about to show. The continuation of Candy Johnson versus GT Ogunye drama on Delta.
Yes. It makes front page on, and I want to appeal to the newspapers because the Vanguard did this and the Nation is doing this. If you are taking a story from an interview that we do here, for God's sake, just give us a little credit.
Right.
The Vanguard, I was even going to take it up with the Mr. Gbenga. The Vanguard wrote in an interview he did on radio. What radio? Give us some bit of credit. Absolutely. We did it, you didn't do it.
Yeah.
The same thing now is happening in the news. It says Yemi Johnson was on a program on this station yesterday. The newspaper ignored all that. They just said this is what he said. They didn't, and then the laws of journalism that say that you should state where and when are not here.
Right. Absolutely wrong.
And I don't know, maybe it's because of I told Tinubu not to buy you people, lend you J-Bus. Okay, you can have the bus. We're out of time. Let me go down and have a coffee, I beg. Now, to enter motor, don't become Wala now. And see, I better pass my neighbor now.
Yes.
The effects of this thing are far and wide. We might have to look at it on Tuesday, deeply.
Okay. All right, the news up next, and Uncle Jimmy is back at 9 for Daily Digest.
I'm a very, very big guy, but I don't joke with my giggy bites. So fine because 11 to 6 in the morning.